We were all walking up a winding, spiraling staircase. All of us, we were all so very tired. I heard so many pairs of shoes stepping upon the wooden spiraling staircase as we walked, escalated, walking upon it, climbing ever higher. Already tired from the labor we had done throughout the day, our legs ached so much with each and every step we took. Every day we worked. There were no rights for us children. Few of us could afford or had the luxury of playing outside, acting as children. Most of us consistently worked to help our families or to pay off debts. There was nothing that I could do, nothing that we could do. Depending on when I finished my labor, I would actually be able to walk up the spiraling staircase and have a view through the windows as we walked up each story. I was able to see the splendor of Manchester from afar, though I wasn't able to see much of the cityscape. Seeing the buildings as well as more being built was the only heartwarming experience that I had. The schoolmaster said that our labour was for Queen and country, for Queen Victoria, and for the glory of England. At first we were all loyal and patriotic for the Empire, as we strode the winding staircase with optimism and strength. But eventually we ended up almost dragging ourselves daily up and down those steps, those curving, winding, endless steps. There was no purpose for this no more. There were no meaning in what we did, just working the looms all day long, making clothes for soldiers to enforce claims to overseas holdings that we'd never dream of possibly seeing. The noble children, of course, were not able to work at all. I remember one time I overheard some wondering what sorts of cakes to have during their tea time while they took a break from their cricket game. I heard them laugh. I felt so envious, so angry. I haven't played cricket myself in so long. All I ever did was work on the looms. Then the stairs, always the stairs. I could swear walking up and down those stairs was the most frustrating endeavor of our workday. There were no breaks. There was no fun. Nothing. Only work to and from the looms, from these stairs. I kept thinking about tea time, or all of the delicious pastries that might be out there, when all of a sudden I heard something behind me, crying. Continuing the progression up the stairs, I looked out of the corner of my eye to see a girl behind me, crying. I couldn't see her details because none of us could clearly stop. If I were to stop and ask her if she was alright, then I'd stop the entire procession of children stepping up the circular flight of stairs behind us. I pushed up the bowler that rested on my head as I tilted my head slightly to see more of this girl. I wanted to say something to cheer her up, to help her, to say something to her, but what could I say? I didn't know what I could say that would help her to make herself feel better about the situation that we were all in. I decided not to say anything as I raised my hand to adjust the bowler on my head. After thinking about it a little bit more, once we got to the top of the stairs, I was going to say something to this girl. Anything to help cheer her up. Hopefully things would get better for either of us. Perhaps even both of us. They had to. Continuing the arduous climbing, glancing upward, we were almost to the top of the spiral staircase. Soon we'd both be at the top of the stairs, so I can take her aside to ask her how she was doing and if there was anything I could do to help her feel a bit better. A small smile on my face soon emerged as I was determined to say something to this girl. Then, after that, everything occurred so quickly as to what the other children later said, but to me, it happened so heartbreakingly slow. She reached out, her hand coming towards my shoulder as we were still stepping up the stairs. I actually believed that she was perhaps going to get my attention, as my gaze went from the top of the spiral staircase to her behind me, but her hand went not to my shoulder, but the railing of the spiral staircase. Not even looking at me, she then reached forward with her other hand to grip the railing of the staircase as well. Then she jumped off the railing. For a moment I couldn't hear anything, everything in that single moment. Then chaos, as I heard the sounds of children further above and below the staircase, all shouting and talking at the same time. Everyone stopped moving on the stairs and peered to lean over the railing. I took my hand to the edge and looked over the railing, see her stories below on the ground, her body in an awkward position due to the fall. A groundskeeper from outside ran through one of the entrances on the ground floor, and a female teacher ran out from the top entrance from the stairs. They were all shouting to the students onto each other. No one knew what was happening as my eyes glanced from her body to my hands on the railing. They were both shaking so much as I took one of my hands off the railing and raked it through my hair, as I felt such sadness, my bowler almost tipping off my head because I moved my hand through my hair so quickly. In utter disbelief, my breathing quickened. I should have said something to her sooner. I should have said something to her. I should have confronted her. I should have helped her. I should have said anything to her. I should have done anything, absolutely anything. But I didn't know this would have happened. How could anyone have known that something so tragic as this would have occurred? As my hand went from raking through my hair to gripping the brim of my bowler, as I stepped back from the railing of the stairs and lowered my other arm as I rested the bowler upon my chest, tears slowly started to flow from my eyes as my eyes glanced to the top of the stairs, as I refused to look down to see what was on the ground floor below, a life cut so short, so tragically.